also, I'm broadcasting on the Black Financial Channel. So that's theblackfinancialchannel.com. So anyway, guys, I don't know if you guys have been following Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been on fire. Has anybody noticed Bitcoin? Give me a yes or no if you own any Bitcoin or if you have seen what's been happening with Bitcoin. It's been pretty ridiculous. Bitcoin just passed 20,000 for the first time ever. And this is huge because Bitcoin was it crashed pretty bad back in 2017, and that was when everybody was sort of financially drunk, and it was taking off. Cryptos were going crazy, and everybody was dumping all their money, putting their baby mama's rent money on it, borrowing off the credit card and all this other stuff. And if you recall, back at that time, I remember saying to you guys, be very, very careful because these markets, crypto is a very dangerous market. Crypto is a very uncertain market. There's a lot of things about markets and investing that we don't know as it pertains to crypto. So, of course, nobody listens, right? When the party's jumping and everybody's making money, nobody cares. And so I can't say as many people listened as I would have liked. But one of the things I did say that actually gave you some comfort in the midst of all this chaos is that crypto, in my opinion, particularly blockchain in particular, were technologies that I think made good long-term investments. I personally was a long-term investor in crypto because I believe in the long-term potential, or at the very least, I want to make sure that I am there when the party happens. Now, Alice says your teeth look different. Great job. Well, I'm a 49-year-old black man who wants to take care of his health. I told my friend, I said, yeah, he called me today. I said, hey man, I'm going to the doctor. And he said, are you all right? You okay? What's going on? I said, no. I said, I'm the type of black man who will go to the doctor even when everything's okay, because I want to make sure everything's okay. I'm not trying to go out like some of my uncles and cousins who didn't go to the doctor until stuff started falling off. And y'all know how we do. Y'all know we as black men, we don't go to the doctor like we should. So that's what's going on. So I try to take care of my health, and the dental part is an important part of that too. So thank you for your kind words. Now, here's the deal. One of the things that I want to thank you, Cliff, for sharing that article, actually, and I'm going to actually take a look at that article. So Bitcoin, let's talk about Bitcoin. First of all, put hashtag B1 in the chat just so we can remind ourselves why we're here. We're Black First. This channel, we might talk about financial topics, but we are Black First. So that's very important. Black wealth is what matters to us. Black investing is what matters. Black ownership is what matters, etc. Ownership and assets matter far more than income. So don't just send your child out to go looking for a good job. Send them out to learn how to create a job. That's how they can get real financial security. Real financial security cannot come if somebody else is providing that security. Real financial security comes from you. It comes from your people. Can we get an amen? Put an amen in the chat if you agree with me on what I just said. Now, here's the deal. So with Bitcoin and crypto, Bitcoin is up over 20,000. And I'm going to give you some factors in terms of what my assessment is on why crypto is taking off. Right now, you have higher institutional demand. You have some major players, whales, as you might call them, that are investing heavily in Bitcoin, that really believe in the future and the potential of this asset. And that's huge. That's a big deal because that is that's kind of what you need. You need that mainstream legitimacy, which is going to lead to a capital flow into Bitcoin. When there is higher demand for an asset, the value of that asset goes up. So as these big fund managers who manage billions of dollars are all investing in Bitcoin, which you should pay attention to because these are not stupid people. These are people who've done their research, right? They've dug deep. They've done the analysis. When they start digging in and they start buying the asset, well, two things happen. One, the demand goes up, right? People, they're just scooping it up off the market. That's going to push the price up. But then two, you have what one of my dissertation committee members back when I was at Ohio State University doing my doctorate, named David Hirschleifer, used to talk about something called herding effects. And all herding effects basically means is that a lot of investors, are sheep. They just follow, and it's okay. Sometimes it's okay to be a sheep as long as you're following as long as the sheep that's in the front of the pack is actually leading you to a good place. So a lot of people watch what the big money managers are doing just so they can know what to do next. They don't really try to figure it all out. They say, well, you must have figured it all out, so I'm going to do what you do. So that herding effect is part of what is driving this demand. People are watching what the big money managers are doing. They say, okay, that's the way the wind's blowing. I'm going to buy more of that. I agree with that assessment. I have always owned Bitcoin. I've owned Bitcoin for years. I was accumulating more Bitcoin even when it dropped. I'm accumulating even more now because the estimates that I'm seeing in terms of what Bitcoin can become are absolutely astronomical. I mean, literally, it is so extraordinary that that I almost wonder if 3 years from now we're going to look at Bitcoin and we're going to say, "Oh my God, I wish I had bought in. I wish I'd bought more back when it was all the way down to $20,000 a coin." I really wouldn't be surprised if that would have happened. You know, if 3 years from now Bitcoin's at 150,000 or whatever, which still you can still buy a piece of Bitcoin. You don't have to actually put up the whole 20,000. You can buy $10 worth of Bitcoin right now on Coinbase, right? So don't think that you have to have big money to participate. I want to make sure we dispel that myth now. And I'm not telling you what to do. This is not investment advice. This is just me telling you what Uncle Boyce is doing. Uncle Boyce is invested in crypto, but I'm not holding my breath. Crypto was always a long-term investment. And what's exciting, though, about it now is that you're now seeing Bitcoin and crypto kind of taking off. You're kind of seeing the reward for all the patience that you had back when you sat there and watched it go down into the dumps. So I'm super excited, man. I really think that this is really opening up a new angle, a new leg, a new limb on financial markets. I think that it could be huge. I think it's going to be something interesting to watch in the future. So with that said, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. You can also follow on Instagram, YouTube, and all that other good stuff. We do daily financial news and commentary from a Black perspective. So make sure you follow the Black Financial Channel. All right. So the other piece here with Bitcoin that's interesting is, in addition to additional institutional demand, you also have a lot more of a presence of Bitcoin available to retail investors. Now, this morning on the Black Financial Channel, I was explaining to you the dangers of the Robinhood app and why Massachusetts regulators are now questioning the Robinhood app because of its heavy influence on getting young people to invest. And I actually don't disagree with that, because a lot of young people are investing heavily in Robinhood. They're buying stock options because they're looking for the fast flip. And if you use it in a certain way, the Robinhood app is no different from a casino in certain ways. I mean, it can literally become like a casino. You can literally become a gambling addict by day trading. I've seen that. I knew a guy I was in class with years ago in college who had to go to Gamblers Anonymous because he was trading stocks. He wasn't betting on horses and basketball games. He was actually betting on stocks. This is a real thing. This really does happen. So effectively, the Massachusetts regulators are challenging Robinhood and saying, you know, you got people in here kind of just gambling. They're just rolling the dice. And then when they lose money, they're devastated. One kid not too far from my house actually killed himself because he lost so much money on his Robinhood app. And so they're saying that this is something where maybe we have to take a little more care to protect the investing public. And so with that said, these retail investors have a huge appetite for risk, meaning that they really just will pay anything for anything. Like they literally, it's like a gambling addict who will bet on anything, who wants to bet you on whether or not it's going to rain or be sunny tomorrow. They'll bet on whether or not the football player is going to wear red shoes or blue shoes, right? Well, a lot of the investing public, these retail investors on Robinhood, are willing to pay insane amounts of money for DoorDash. That's how DoorDash shot through the roof, but now DoorDash is plummeting. I think DoorDash has dropped from 185 or something down to 158. It's going to keep dropping, in my opinion. I will be stunned if DoorDash could go any higher than what it is right now. That's like somebody buying your car. You got a 2018 Toyota Corolla in your front yard. Imagine if somebody came by and said, "I'll give you $110,000 for your 2018 Toyota Corolla." How many of you would take that deal? How many of you would say, absolutely, here's my account number, you can deposit the money here, right? Because you're like, okay, well, if you're enough of a sucker to overpay for that thing, then I'll sell it to you. So with DoorDash, people are overpaying for DoorDash. People are overpaying for Airbnb. That will only become apparent once the market starts to correct itself. There will be a correction at some point. The market cannot continue to do what it's doing right now, especially when the government refuses to even move forward on the stimulus package. By the time it even gets here, it's going to be too small. It's going to be too late. It's not going to make a big difference. But the fact that the government is consistently bailing out financial markets is one of those things that keeps it afloat. I'm wondering when that party is going to end. That's why you diversify and protect your assets, because eventually all these parties do come to an end. Now, with that said, let me remind you guys, I don't know if you guys know or not, but you should know, we're doing Black Real Estate Weekend this weekend coming up. And so if you are interested in real estate and you want to join us in the Black Business School with all of our real estate experts, we have about, I think, 6 or 7 coming through that are going to work on everything from buying your first home to becoming a real estate agent to multifamily property, commercial property, tax lien selling, anything you want to know, anything you want to talk about. Join us. It's blackrealestateweekend.com. The URL is right there on the screen. And we get started on the 19th in the morning, and it's going to be amazing. We're going to go all weekend. It's going to be really good. It's a great way to get introduced to real estate from all angles. If that's something you want to do, I highly recommend real estate, because real estate is one of the 3 ways that rich people get rich. They get rich through stock and bond investing. They get rich through real estate. They get rich through owning their own businesses. They do not get rich by getting jobs. So do not send your children to college just to get a nice job. If they do that, then they're going to be stuck with a ton of students. I'm not going to say for sure, but a lot of students get stuck with a bunch of loans and an inability to pay those loans because they don't know all the different ways to make money. You want your kids to know all the different ways that they can make money, not just one. Now, with that said, let me go and wrap it up here. The other thing about Bitcoin that I think is going to be massive in terms of determining where Bitcoin goes in the future is, one, Bitcoin is seen as a digital gold. It is a store of value in certain ways, where there are people that believe because it has limited supply, you can invest in Bitcoin the same way you invest in gold. Gold values tend to go up when there's volatility. Gold values tend to go up when the economy starts crashing. Gold values tend to go up when there's inflation, right? People are worried about the value of the actual fiat currency, which is a legitimate concern. I mean, you can't keep printing money forever and not think inflation is going to happen. Look at Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, I guess, whoever they had, running their economy, just thought, oh, well, money, we can have as much as we want. All we have to do is print more. Well, you can't do that, right? Anything that's in oversupply is going to go down in value. Just ask Cardi B. Cardi B has put WAP. The price of WAP has plummeted because WAP has been put in oversupply. So you don't want to flood the market with anything WAP or cash or whatever, because that's going to push down the price of the commodity. So just know that everything has a market, and some things plummet because people commit to oversupplying that commodity to the market at a very low cost. Now, with that said, here the other piece of this is Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is used for transactional purposes, then I think that's going to be massive. I really hope that one day we get to a point where people are using Bitcoin to buy things. Like they say, how much will that cost? Well, that will cost you 1/1000th of a Bitcoin, right? And you can actually buy things with Bitcoin. PayPal is opening the door to that. PayPal is creating a transaction process where you can actually use crypto to buy things. And that's awesome. And what they're doing is really smart. They're getting rid of the risk for the people engaged in the transaction. The big fear that I had, or I would have as a merchant who's accepting Bitcoin, is what if I accept Bitcoin in exchange for bread or pizza and the price of Bitcoin plummets? Well, I don't want that risk, right? So PayPal standing in the middle as the intermediary saying, we'll take on that risk. We'll make sure that you get the amount of fiat currency that you expect, but we're going to let the person on the other side do the transaction with crypto. I think that's huge, because that to me is a next step toward the final step, which is to be able to actually trade Bitcoin in a vast quantity all throughout the economy, where Bitcoin is being used, maybe 1/10 as much as regular currency. That would be huge, because again, you're talking about an increase in the demand for crypto. Also, Bitcoin has tremendous value in third world countries where fiat currency is not as easy to use, right? Where the local currency sucks. The other thing about crypto that's interesting, though, this is a downward thing. I think as it gets more regulated, as crypto and Bitcoin and all this stuff gets more regulated, I think you're going to start seeing some of the shadier elements of crypto leaving. Right now, Bitcoin is heavily used for people that don't want their transactions traced for whatever reason, right? I'm slanging dope, I'm selling mollies, whatever it is that you're doing, they don't want the transactions traced. So crypto allows you to do all these things anonymously. Well, that's going to go away. So if you're trying to stack your dope money in crypto, you better find another stash spot because it's not going to work once Bitcoin becomes mainstream and they shine the light and they put the disinfectant on this shady market, because right now it's still a shady market. It's still a dirty market. It's still a bad market. But once they shine the light on it, you know, the institutional mainstream money's coming in, the economic police are coming in. They're going to want to regulate it and they're going to want to take their cut. A lot of those shady elements are going to get pushed out. So something has to replace that. So I believe that at some point that's going to be replaced. And you're right, Roberta, some Bitcoin is traceable. Not all of it's traceable. So I think that as crypto becomes less available as kind of a black market sort of a black market sort of store of wealth, if you want to call it that, I think that that's going to have a downward effect on the demand, but maybe other demand will replace that. And the last piece is, I think when you talk about these institutional investors that are adding it to their portfolios and making it available for retail investors, like almost all the apps now, I think Cash App, Robinhood, all of them allow you to buy Bitcoin. Like you can buy Bitcoin and crypto on almost any of those apps. So the fact that you can buy Bitcoin and XRP and all these other cryptos on most of these apps says that these retail investors, these speculators, these Robinhood traders who are pushing up the prices of stock are also going to come in and do the same thing with Bitcoin and crypto. So my belief, my thought, where I'm actually putting my real money is I'm putting my money on Bitcoin because I think that the potential is going to be explosive. I think a lot of great things are going to happen. I believe that we could be at the very beginning of something amazing, and that's why I want to be there when it happens. So there we go. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. Do me a favor. If you want to, don't forget on Thursday night also, we're building a Black-owned movie industry, in case you don't know. And the way we're doing that is we're not just making our own films. We have Boyce Watkins films. Our films have been seen by millions of people. So this is a real thing. We're really doing this. We're really getting this done. But we also partner with Black filmmakers who are doing great projects and allow them access to our audience. So Black Movie Night is when we're going to do that. Black Movie Night is going to be Thursday coming up, Thursday the 17th. And we're going to have Mark Harris. He's coming in and he's going to show his film Stock Option. Mark Harris, you've seen his movies on BET, VH1, stuff, or not VH1, sorry, BET, TV1, and some other places. And it's a great Black love story. And I think that's right there. That's pretty awesome because they don't let us love each other in Hollywood unless I'm a dude kissing on another dude, right? So I'd rather see some of these other love stories as well. And also Black people that are in movies where they're not actually trying to fight and kill each other. And so if you like that type of stuff, if you like that healthy stuff, which might put you in the minority because a lot of people love to feed on dysfunction, then join us for Black Movie Night. You can go to blackmovienight.net. That's blackmovienight.net. It's totally free. Bring your family. Let's support Black filmmakers so we can build a Black industry. We can't just talk about it. We actually have to be about it. Okay, so let's see. Do you have material that addresses the blockchain? We have some crypto stuff in the Black Business School. We do have a crypto program. So feel free to go to theblackbusinessschool.com and you can ask one of our specialists that's on the line about our crypto programs or any other program that you're interested in. So feel free to go take a look. So that's pretty much it. I'm out of here, guys. And it was great talking to you. I hope you have a great day. And also, by the way, if you want to learn more about investing, the blackstockmarketprogram.com is really good, really popular. And the first month is just $1. So if you try it out and you don't love it, which I know you will, we'll give you your $1 back. So feel free to go to the blackstockmarketprogram.com if this helps you. All right, I'm out of here. Have a good day.